What's new in San Diego for 2026? Find out next on Jaycation. Hey, what's up, Jaycationers? Welcome back to another video here in my hometown, the San Diego series. We are back here in America's finest city for 2026 to give you the newest things happening all around San Diego County. We're gonna talk about some new restaurants, some new attractions opening up at places like the San Diego Zoo, SeaWorld, and Legoland, and give you an outlook on the event schedule here around San Diego. Also, the sports. Go Padres, go SDFC. So let's get started with what's new in San Diego for 2026. University Town Center in University City / La Jolla is undergoing a massive remodel, and it's been for the past handful of years. There will be an additional 70,000 square footage of shopping, restaurant, and retail space added to UTC. It's where the old Nordstrom used to be. They're gonna be adding a Restoration Hardware, Tom Ford, Carolina Herrera, 2 restaurants by a Spanish chef with Spanish concept ideas. So really excited for that. You could already see the buildings being built from La Jolla Village Drive, and it's right next to the popular Din Tai Fung. UTC, in my opinion, has become the best shopping center in San Diego. They do have high-end stuff, but you can find places like Uniqlo, Zara, H&M, Cotton On. They're all at UTC, and some great food options, especially some great Asian concept restaurants. So make sure you check out University Town Center in 2026. Let's talk about the other mall in the heart of San Diego, and that is Fashion Valley. Fashion Valley underwent a rejuvenation of some sorts. I just went there a couple of weeks ago, did a lap around the mall. They've added a Uniqlo where the Forever 21 used to be. Unfortunately, Forever 21 is now gone. We're gonna miss the men's section over there, and I'm sure the ladies will miss Forever 21 women's. I noticed a lot of improvements with the food court and the aesthetics. So there's better seating options, there's tables, benches, and more family-friendly areas for people to hang out while they're waiting for people that are shopping. They haven't necessarily expanded Fashion Valley, but they've just made the mall itself a better experience. There's nicer landscaping around where the luxury stores are, and you'll see it mainly where the food court area is. Now, they are planning on demolishing the JCPenney at the very end of Fashion Valley, the west end of Fashion Valley, and turning that into more storefront, restaurants, and condominium space. Look out for that. As of now, I still think that JCPenney is still open, but eventually they're gonna break ground on that part of Fashion Valley to revitalize that and make it a little bigger and more of a draw. Because honestly, UTC has gotten way better than Fashion Valley over the last few years. On March 6, 2026, get ready to head up to Carlsbad to Legoland Galaxy. Legoland Galaxy will have 3 new coasters, and one will be called Galactic Coaster, which is an indoor roller coaster, which is family friendly, and they're gonna have a ton of different galactical, space-themed Lego displays and storefront. It looks like it's gonna be a fun time, and shout out to #1 Jaycationer, Bobble Bunny. I promise you, at some point this year, I will do a Legoland vlog as per your request. And if you guys have any requests of places you want me to cover in 2026, whether it's here in San Diego, Las Vegas, Hawaii, or the rest of the world, let me know in the comment section below. Let's talk about the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Danny Sanford's Elephant Valley will be opening on March 5th, 2026. It's gonna be an immersive experience with a bunch of elephants where they're gonna be in a really nice habitat. There's gonna be tons of watering holes. There's gonna be a 2-story lodge for all the Safari Park guests to check out. It replaces the route of where the monorail used to go through over there, just to be up close and personal with these elephants and to learn more about their habitat and that species will be really cool. I was just over at the Sedgwick County Zoo back in October, and I got to see some elephants up close and personal, a family of them, and it was a really cool experience. And I'm sure San Diego Zoo Safari Park will do it right with the Elephant Valley. Let's move on to SeaWorld San Diego and their renovations. There's gonna be a multi-million-dollar shark encounter refurbishment. You're gonna have 360-degree views of the sharks in the the shark encounter, as well as 11 different shark species. You can also take these tours that will educate you more on sharks and their habitat. And you can also eat over at one of the food spots that's very popular at the shark encounter over at SeaWorld. So that's the new thing happening over in SeaWorld San Diego. On top of Hollow's Scream coming back and all their Christmas festivities, make sure you check it out over at SeaWorld San Diego. Along with the positives, you have to talk a little bit about the negatives that are happening here in San Diego. And unfortunately, Balboa Park has put in a paid parking system, not just Balboa Park, but as well as the San Diego Zoo. You're gonna be paying anywhere from $5 to $16 a day, depending on the proximity to the center of Balboa Park. There is street parking, but it's $2.50 per hour with a max of 4 hours for $10. The San Diego Zoo is charging $16 for regular vehicles. It used to be free, guys, and there is a ton of community backlash here in San Diego about putting paid parking in Balboa Park and the San Diego Zoo. Now, Seaport Village has always had paid parking. There's really no way around that. I go here to the meters over in the side, pay $2.50 an hour, so I paid $5 so I could film this for the 2 hours that I'm here. Let's talk about an event happening across San Diego Bay from June 19th to 21. That is the NASCAR Cup Series coming to San Diego to the naval base across the way. So the NASCAR Cup Series will host a historic first-of-its-kind street race on a military installation at Naval Base Coronado in San Diego from June 19 to 21. It's going to be a 3.4-mile, 16-turn course, and they're going to have a carrier corner where the NASCAR cars are going to be going racing through 2 different carriers. That's going to be really cool to see, and that's going to be a first for the 2026 NASCAR season. That's really awesome. I love the idea of that. And they should be calling it the race on the base, but I'm sure that it's already been taken or copyrighted somehow. It's going to be presented by Anduril and marks a major milestone for the 2026 NASCAR season. I went on an actual NASCAR track over in the Kansas Speedway and just saw how fast a Toyota Camry went. I can't imagine how fast these NASCARs are going to go around the naval base here in Coronado. It's also going to showcase a famous tower from the movie Top Gun. And if you want to get tickets for June 19th to 21st for the NASCAR Cup Series, check it out on their website. I'm sure they will become available. And yes, the public can go on base for this event. Right behind me is the popular San Diego Convention Center, and it will be hosting a ton of different conventions this year. You know that just like Las Vegas, San Diego is a convention town. We have tons of convention space, tons of hotels with conference and meeting rooms over there as well. And this year, the usual will be back. San Diego Comic Con will be returning from July 23 to 26. I already got my passes sorted out, thank God. And November 13th to 15th, TwitchCon will be returning. Now, TwitchCon has been here in San Diego in the past. It was here last year, but I missed out. I went about 3 years ago. I know they took a year off from San Diego, but they are now back. And there are other conferences that do come here to San Diego, just like Social Media World. I don't know if it's back again, but if you guys are coming here to San Diego for a conference, make sure you check my backlog of San Diego videos. I have a ton of guides for each community, all the restaurants and things to do around America's finest city. Let's talk about Liberty Station. And Liberty Station can be seen from the runway of San Diego Airport. And Liberty Station used to be a military training ground. Parts of it still is, but it's become more of an arts district slash event space. And the owner of Mr. A's will be doing a $15 million renovation to a 7-acre area off of Rosecrans, turning it into a place called the Admiral, where it's gonna be wedding space and tons of event space. And apparently it's gonna be awesome. If you guys don't know what Mr. A's is, it's one of the nicest restaurants, watching the view of the San Diego skyline as planes land on San Diego Airport. So make sure you check out Mr. A's and the owner reviving this area with 5 buildings from the 1920s era and turning it into wedding and event space. It will also be mixed-use development. We'll have a 140-seat restaurant, a bakery slash winery canteen, screen and a screen-free game room and more event spaces. It'll be a really cool year-round social hub. Let's talk about these two buildings right behind me. This is the Manchester Grand Hyatt. It is the tallest buildings here in San Diego and in the skyline, and they have done a great job with their renovations. I went over to Sally's Waterfront, had an amazing surf and turf meal there a few months back, but they also did some renovations up to the top of the Hyatt, as well as their swimming pool area, and eventually they're going to renovate all of the rooms in both of these buildings. But make sure you check out the revitalized Manchester Grand Hyatt. Great place to stay here, especially with families here in San Diego. It's where a lot of MLB teams actually stay during the year in the past, as well as people that go to Comic-Con. I know a lot of celebrities stay here during Comic-Con. Really awesome property right next to Seaport Village, right next to San Diego Bay. I definitely recommend it, and make sure you check out the renovations. Let's talk about a couple of opening days happening around San Diego. This happens yearly. Opening day for my San Diego Padres will be on March 26th, 2026 at 1:10 p.m. against the Detroit Tigers, the same Detroit Tigers we faced in the 1984 World Series. It's going to be a fun series. They're going to be giving away scarves to the first 40,000 people in attendance, and there will be 80 plus games here at Petco Park, just behind the convention center. And Petco Park is always great. Even though I said that the prices have risen and the food selection isn't as good as it used to be in the past, it's still a really fun experience. And there will be out of town teams, big city out of town teams like the Detroit Tigers, the New York Yankees, and Chicago Cubs coming to town. So San Diego Padres fans, come out. Let's have a great time at Petco Park. Keep selling out the stadium so our team can continue to compete, and eventually one day, before I'm an old man, we'll win a World Series. The second opening day I want to talk about is on Friday, July 17, 2026, over at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. That is one of the coolest days of the year, and if you could score a ticket, you'll see so many cool, luxurious hats and people in suits and dresses, and it's summer in San Diego, and if the marine layer dissipates, you get a nice sunny day, and away they go, just like Trevor Denman said. I think it's Denman or Detman, something like that, just like he says, and away they go. A really fun people watching day, and you could throw some money on your ponies and see if you can win some money here in San Diego. Speaking of money, also the Rise of Hamul Casino. It's a place that I've been wanting to visit, and maybe eventually this year I will check it out. But in 2026, we do have gambling around San Diego. It's over in the reservations. You got Sequan, Barona, Viejas. There's plenty more. Harrah's, you name it. They're all over San Diego County in the east part of town. Let's go back to talking about some restaurants here in San Diego at Liberty Station. Since 2011, Slater's 50/50 burger was a staple over at Liberty Station. I remember when it first opened, I used to go with my friends there all the time. That was when the craft brewing scene was bustling even more, and it was still kind of, sort of new. It's always been around, but it was just gaining its popularity and gaining traction. And I used to go there, have some craft beers and some amazing 50/50 Slater's burgers. But now it has closed, and now there is a place that has replaced it called The Mixer. It's a newly branded neighborhood bar and kitchen that positions itself as a community-focused and less concept-driven, although the menu is eerily similar to Slater's 50/50. So basically it's like Slater's 50/50, but not. So if you want to check out The Mixer, it's right there next to the Ace Hardware at Liberty Station. Next is the brand new San Diego International Airport Terminal 1. I use that all the time when I go to Las Vegas. It's where Southwest flies out of. They have opened up 19 new gates, 13 security lanes, and 17 plus local dining and retail options. You can get your cheap San Diego crew sweaters that are really popular for like $19.99 over there at one of those shops. I like that deal. The Southwest Terminal is just so much bigger now, and they are working on connecting Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 with a walkway and more space, and hopefully some lounges in the future. So that's going to be called Phase 1B. But what I really like is instead of having just one area for pickup and drop off, they have separated the pickup to one area and the drop off to the other area. So there's arrivals and departures now, and they have have separated Harbor Drive and the entrance to Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 of the airport so that the traffic doesn't mesh together. So now Harbor Drive has its own lanes and the airport has its own lanes, which makes it much faster to get in and out of San Diego International Airport. And I really do like all the designs around there with the squid up front, and everything is just brand spanking new and so much more spacious and way better than that old Terminal 1. If you know, you know. If you haven't seen my video yet on San Diego International Airport Terminal 1, I give you a complete tour of it in my channel. I'll link it down below right here. Let's also talk about San Diego Football Club's second season at Snapdragon Stadium in Mission Valley. I'm actually going to the first match later tonight. It's the CONCACAF Cup Series, and they will also be starting the regular season later on in February, March. Last year, we made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals in our very first year. Shout out to Anders Dreyer, he is our MVP, and the SCFC games are amazing. The chants, the fan clubs, and everything, the food over at Snapdragon is awesome, and it's a fun experience in a 35,000 seat stadium. Oh man, I went to the first playoff game. You had cotton candy skies, Manny Machado dropping the glow ball. The atmosphere there was just fun, and if you are a big soccer fan, make sure you check it out. We almost played Messi in the finals, but we didn't make it there. We got beat. But this year, let's see how good we will do. And if you want to pick up San Diego FC gear, you can go to Mission Valley Mall. They are open during renovations. They have all the SDFC gear there. We are San Diego Football Club. I'm excited for their second season, and hopefully we go deep into November and into the MLS Cup in early December. They are also switching up the seasons, so they're gonna line it up more with the European schedule and the international schedule. So this is the last year that MLS will be going through their standard format season, and next year they're gonna be switching it up. I don't know quite the dates, but they're switching it up more to gear up towards more of the international and European schedules. At the filming of this video, it's February 3rd, 2026, and right now it's currently 75 degrees. Not to throw shade at anybody else across the country that's dealing with snowy weather right now, but come to San Diego, it's beautiful, except for the May gray, June gloom, and all that stuff. Ooh, we got some waves here from some of the wakes of those boats that just passed by. But in the distance, in the haze, you can kind of see a building right below the Coronado Bridge, and that is the Gaylord Pacific, a beautiful, massive billion-dollar hotel, $1.3 billion hotel. I covered it last year, and it was an amazing stay. Their swimming pool area was fantastic. Their lazy river, and then the food options of coastal cuisine and a mix of San Diego sports, pubs, and they even have craft beer that is catered to San Diego and the Chula Vista area. That whole Chula Vista Bayfront is undergoing a massive, massive project. They're even talking about building an 80,000 seat stadium that could possibly hold an NFL team. I guess we'll see. You will also have a ton of tennis courts. They'll turn this into a facility for professional athletes all around the world to come in and train and use the facilities. So that's coming up in the next few years. And make sure you check that out over in the Chula Vista Bayfront. And as for the Port of San Diego, there are a ton of different parks and access points opening up around the San Diego Bayfront. We're gonna be checking out one of the parks in a later video, as well as all the restaurants around the area. Right behind me is the popular Rady Shell. I've seen the likes of Olivia Rodrigo over there, Jason Derulo, and it is a great outdoor venue. You can see boats pulling up here, and you can see it from the side. If you don't have tickets, you can still hear it from areas like this. You may not be able to see it, but you can hear it. And this year, we do have a couple of concerts so far announced. The big one is Ed Sheeran coming to Petco Park later on in the summer, as well as Madison Beer coming to the smaller, more quaint Gallagher Square. So make sure you check that out. Gallagher Square is over at Petco Park. It's a stage behind center field wall, and they do have a concert series over there. We do have Rady Shell, as well as, unfortunately, the Pachanga Arena, which is not that nice. Last concert I went over there was the Justin Timberlake concert back in 2024. The sound isn't that great over there. We also have Viejas Arena, but honestly, for the big concerts, a lot of San Diegans either drive up to LA to Crypto.com Arena, or we go over to Vegas to Allegiant Stadium and all the smaller theaters around the Las Vegas Strip. Unfortunately, no Bruno Mars concert here in San Diego. San Diego is known for new restaurants and older restaurants closing down, unfortunately, due to high rent and lack of business and various reasons here in the economy in San Diego. That's where the Roy's at the Marriott Marina is. But this year in 2026, there's going to be a Nobu del Coronado, which is going to be at the Hotel del Coronado, which is going to feature signature Japanese cuisine. A place called Lilo, it's another acclaimed fine dining restaurant that ranks of Michelin recognized restaurants that's going to open up somewhere in North County. A place called Lulu, Chef Claudette Zepada's concept featuring Levant, Peruvian, Japanese, and Baja influences is opening up. Odie's Pizza Company, Sonny's Pizza, and Far Corner are going to be opening up locations. There's going to be a Wildflower Delicatessen and 6NG Breakfast Company opening up. Barnice and Little Victory Wine Bar will be opening too, and a new Crack Shack location is opening at Pacific Beach. Dora La Jolla is a high-end dining addition to the La Jolla area. Treehouse and Witherby Bar and Restaurant is a new stylish dining and cocktail venue. So tons of restaurants opening and closing. The Buffalo Wild Wings in Mira Mesa that I covered in my Mira Mesa video last year, that closed down within 1 year, unfortunately. Unfortunately, in that area of Mira Mesa, a lot of the rent is sky high, and if you're not packing these restaurants and doing things that are unique to drawing in crowds and drawing in revenue, unfortunately, these places end up closing. But there are places closing and places opening. It's just like Vegas. There's always something new here in San Diego. We got mini golf coming to San Diego. Putt Shack Mission Valley is going to be coming up with multiple 9-hole courses. They're even going to have a technology within the golf ball to keep track of your score. They're going to have food, drinks, and it's going to be a whole fun complex reminiscent of places that are popping up in Vegas that have those multiple 9-hole miniature golf courses. So it's going to be a fun time and a family-friendly thing, and something fun coming to Mission Valley in 2026. That's coming up later on in the summer. Another thing that is about to happen and open up here, not quite in 2026, but next year in 2027, but I figured I'd talk about it, is the extension of the San Diego Coaster, which is a coaster train that comes from all the way up in North County, San Diego, as far as Oceanside, all the way down to downtown San Diego. Now, before, the coaster used to only go up to Santa Fe Train Depot, which is at the very beginning of downtown by Little Italy, and then from there you'd have to transfer over to the trolley in order to get to Gaslamp, Petco Park, and the heart of downtown San Diego. Now, in 2027, they're going to be opening up a platform for the coaster over here between Front Street and 5th Avenue. Will drop you off right in the heart of downtown San Diego, right across the street from the convention center near the Gaslamp sign. And it'll just be that more convenient for North County train riders to get over here, because in the past you'd have to get off at Santa Fe Train Depot, hop either the blue or the green line to get to where you need to get to here in downtown San Diego, and sometimes these trolleys you have to wait tons of time for, and now you have the coaster right here dropping you off and picking you up. So for you Padre fans that are coming from North County, San Diego, it's going to be that much easier. You just walk over to the coaster instead of having to get to Santa Fe Train Depot. The coaster is expanding and it's coming over here by the convention center and the Gaslamp Quarter. For y'all that either lived in San Diego for the longest time or have caught up with San Diego in the news, you know that it's hard to build things around here. It was really difficult to even get an expansion of the San Diego Convention Center done. It was hard to get Petco Park done. That took years. The Chargers never got their stadium done, and they moved for that city up north. They've been talking about this project for years, and it's called the Midway Rising Project. That's where the current Pachenga Arena stands, the San Diego Sports Arena and the swap meet. They want to turn that into a huge multi-use facility, a brand new arena, as well as condominiums, restaurants, and shopping space. But there have been problems with height restrictions in the past and zoning restrictions, and the Midway Rising Project just seemed to never get off the ground. But will 20 2026 be the year, Midway Rising, something happens. I doubt it, but it's something that's always in the news and something that I wanted to mention because that whole Midway District would definitely be revitalized. Right now, it's just so ran down and it's really hard for me to promote that area. San Diego has a ton of hotels and there is a new one opening up near the USS Midway Museum off of A Street later on this year, and that's the Le Méridien San Diego Downtown Hotel. It's a modern 231 room luxury hotel situated at 501 West A Street in the heart of downtown San Diego. Looks schmancy and it's right across the street from America Plaza Trolley Station. They're gonna have restaurants, lounge, bar vibes over there, and that area has also added the Intercontinental in the years and a Spring Hill Suites. If you're looking for further places from the heart of downtown San Diego State, but new places, Le Méridien eventually will be a new option here in America's finest city. Another place opening up real near the Le Méridien is the U.S. Navy SEAL Museum. That's right, do you want to learn more about the Navy SEALs? Well, they have a museum right across from the Santa Fe train depot, and it's an educational, historic tour from the most athletic, stealth, and most professional military men out there, the Navy SEALs. So if you want to learn more about the Navy SEAls, make sure you check out the new museum right across the street from the Santa Fe train depot. We're right in front of the Manchester Grand Hyatt, and above the parking lot was the 5th story of where the San Diego Rooftop Cinema Club used to be. That's actually where I had the premieres of seasons 1 and 2 of my TV show on KPBS, Out of the Boondocks. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you watch that on the KPBS website. It still lives on there. 10 episodes about Filipino Americans doing great things around San Diego. San Diego Rooftop Cinema Club has moved and they have beautiful panoramic views on a new hotel, and it's actually in Little Italy. It's called the Porto Vista Hotel. They have different types of movie nights over there, from Back to the Future to movies like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They even have Super Bowl viewing parties over there. Make sure you check out San Diego Rooftop Cinema Club. I definitely will feature it in a future video. Now that it's over in Little Italy, the ambiance might be a little bit different. It might be a little more quaint, but still, it's a place that I like to enjoy while I'm here in San Diego, and with Valentine's Day coming up, that could be a great date night spot. Let's talk a little more local, especially my hood. Let's talk about Mira Mesa Community Park, a $43.3 million renovation. It's gonna feature a brand new aquatic center, basketball courts, pickleball courts, tennis courts, more park space and fun playgrounds. It's in an area where I grew up in, right across the street from Mira Mesa High School. They're even renovating the Epic Center, which is right next to the Mira Mesa Community Park, and that will all start opening up in 2026 going into 2027. So for all you Mira Masons that watch the channel, thank you for watching. Had to do a little mention of Mira Mesa because there are tons of stuff opening around my community. Speaking of restaurants, right behind me is Shorebird. It opened up last year. They converted this blue beach house, dock house into a brunch spot. They used to have a speakeasy in there, and it's a place that I've been really wanting to try. Let's talk about Mission Valley Mall. Mission Valley Mall used to be one of my favorites for like hats, and it's kind of what Plaza Bonita has become for me. I love Plaza Bonita over in National City, but Mission Valley Mall is overgoing a huge renovation. The middle of that mall is already all tore up. They're gonna have new restaurants over there. They're gonna add condominium space and more storefront. It's gonna be a great spot. That's also a Westfield shopping mall. I like that mall because there's a Target there and a really cool sports store, and the San Diego FC merch store is there as well. Make sure you check out Mission Valley as it progresses, Mission Valley Mall, because it will get better in 2026 going into 2027. Another thing that was announced for San Diego, it doesn't happen until 2028, but the Olympics in 2028, obviously it's the LA Olympics, but they will be holding soccer matches over at Snapdragon Stadium. So different rounds of the Olympic Games will be held at Snapdragon just for soccer. So stay tuned for that in 2028, 2 years from now. A couple more things happening around here in the San Diego area is the opening of the Museum of Illusions. You may have heard of the Museum of Illusions because they have a bunch of locations around the USA, in Las Vegas. I have actually not been to the one in Vegas yet, but they have taken over the space of what used to be the Urban Outfitters here at the Gaslamp Quarter, and it's a place that I do want to check out. A lot of cool rooms and activations that you could take pictures in, Instagram worthy, and it's right in the heart of the Gaslamp Quarter, right across the street street from the new Tacos El Frank. That's another place that you should check out in downtown San Diego. So if you want to get tickets, check out Museum of Illusion San Diego online. It's over at the Gaslamp Quarter. We got a Halal Guys opening up in Hillcrest. Banksy, the artist, will be over in Del Mar, the Art of Banksy Without Limits. The Rock and Roll Marathon will be back again here in San Diego. Great place to run. Well, Jaycationers, that will do it here from America's finest city, San Diego. Hope that gives you a quick overview of things to come here in 2026. I know I missed out on a ton of other things, but there's only certain places I can feature and only enough time in the day to watch this video. So comment down below. Let's keep it positive and talk about what's new in San Diego and what type of events are coming. We have a really fun community. It's Always Sunny in San Diego is my Facebook page. We have about 10,000 San Diego lovers talking about the news and ongoings around town. And please subscribe. Only about 34% of you are subscribed to my channel that are watching these videos. The other 60+% of y'all are not. And we're trying to get to 200,000 in 2026 or 2027. And it would really help me greatly by just hitting that subscribe button and that like button. All right, Jaycationers, we'll see you in the next one. We'll have more San Diego content in 2026 to come, but stay tuned for Hawaii and the Philippines and Japan. Can't wait. We're traveling. This is a travel channel, guys, so that's what we're gonna do. So in the words of E, stay traveling, San Diego.